Hello, everyone. My name is Aida Salamon, and I'm the Communications Officer for the Ethiopian American Chamber of Commerce. Today, we have the first episode of our entrepreneurial series, where we will be featuring different Ethiopian entrepreneurs in our community. We have with us here today Abdi Ahmed, who will be talking to us about his journey as an entrepreneur. Thank you for joining us today, Abdi. If you can just do a short introduction of your background, that would be great.
Thank you very much, Ida. Thank you for having me. My name is Abdi Ahmed, and I am actually the founder and president of NetServe Systems. It's a technology firm that designs and implements software for various clients. And by training, I'm a software engineer, and I've lived in the United States for most of my life.
Okay, great. Again, the Ethiopian American Chamber of Commerce is relaunching its services, and we are actually offering free membership for the first 50 entrepreneurs. So if you haven't already, please check out our website, and you can connect with other like-minded entrepreneurs such as Abdi. And he's going to be talking to us today about his journey starting his business. So Abdi, can you just share with us a little bit about how you started your business?
Sure. Like I said, I'm a software engineer by training, so I spent about 7 years of working with Apple Computer as a software developer. Then in 1996, I decided to go on my own, and actually I started NetServe Systems. And initially, our market target was the SMB market, or small to mid-sized businesses. And after 3 years of working on that area, primarily providing IT services to medical doctors, lawyers, and CPAs, then we decided to move on to corporate environment, large enterprises. And in 2005 or so, we were able to actually have our first contract with a large corporations like Honda, and we never looked back.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, one thing that I really wanted to dive into today was, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of businesses are, having to re-strategize how they do their work. And are there any trends that you see happening in software due to the COVID-19 pandemic?
Absolutely. In fact, COVID-19 has been, the pandemic at the outset has been very challenging to businesses all over the world. And there are two types of companies that have actually emerged as a result of this pandemic. One is what we call the COVID casualty, and the other is the COVID beneficiaries. So either company, whichever company you look at, they had either benefited from COVID, or they had actually become a casualty of COVID. So as a result, a lot of companies like ours have become the sort of a casualty of COVID-19. And by that, what I mean is, for example, our larger clients, in the smaller side, we actually did well, and that's okay. But larger clients like Toyota, Honda, Uber, and the rest have decided to let their software engineers go. And what that means is they did not want to set them up for remote access at this point in time, because they really were not their employees per se. They were consultants that we provided to them. And due to some legal complexities, they decided to hold off for a while. So as a result, we kept paying our employees without being paid by our clients. And that took a while. But eventually, we're coming back, and they're actually setting up all our developers and software engineers for remote access. And that's helping a great deal. So we're maybe about 60% or so back to where we were before.
Okay, that's wonderful. Yeah, I think that's really helpful because, industries have been impacted by COVID-19 in so many different ways. And one of the things that we want to provide, as the Ethiopian American Chamber of Commerce, is just resources and information on how, you can better navigate during this difficult time for your business. So thank you for sharing that advice.
Sure.
What advice would you give to any other aspiring, folks that want to get into software?
Well, the first thing is just a matter of dedication. Software is the type of industry that does not require big machines or a lot of capital investment. You actually just have to have a talent for an aptitude for software development. And if you do, and you get in that field, there are ways of really doing much better ways of doing things than when I first started. So it's very promising, and especially for our people, for people of Ethiopian origin, they have the opportunity in this country, as well as back home, by the way, because the technology knows no limits. So there is no barrier to entry, if you will. So you can
Okay.
start it with that really minimum investment. And as long as you're ready and want to put the talent in, the time in, if you will, then you'll be okay. Now, what you really need is the necessary background in terms of programming and software engineering. And if you have a degree in computer science or software engineering or electrical engineering, then you'll be in a better position to actually succeed. Success requires a commitment. If you have the commitment, believe me, you'll succeed.
Great, great. Thank you.
Sure.
Speaking on that, what are some of the challenges that you faced building your business and getting into your field?
Well, the biggest challenge you actually see, believe it or not, is number one, as a minority, you don't see many African Americans or Ethiopian people of Ethiopian origin being in this field a lot. So that's a huge barrier to entry to begin with. The other thing is lack of professional relationships. Unless you've had some relationships, it's very hard to actually build something and then keep moving. So those are the two main things. And of course, race plays a role too. So persistency pays off. At the end of the day, what you really need to do is be very strategic about your goals, build the professional relationships, and then have a target audience. Don't be all over the map. Just concentrate on a given area, on a given market, and then be vertical and just keep going at it.
Okay, thank you. Great advice, and shows really the importance of networking, because like you said, as a person of color, it can be hard kind of navigating around finding those business relationships. What were some of the biggest rewards that you have found with your business?
Well, self-employment is always very challenging, and it's very rewarding at the same time. It's challenging in that you're always thinking about the payroll requirements and what you have to do and all that good stuff, all the liabilities that come along with being self-employed. The reward is really seeing that you're employing others. We have about maybe 33 or 34 employees, and making sure that everybody's doing the right thing and ensuring that everybody's getting a piece of the action equally. The biggest challenge, the biggest reward for me was back in 2005 or 2006. The first few years, we were actually not doing as well. The maximum revenue at that point in time for us was about maybe $600,000 per year. But in 2005 or 2006, we were able to get a first contract, and that translated to, this was with Honda, about $3 million a year within the first year.
Oh, wow.
So that put us on the map, and that was very helpful. And from there on, we went to other large corporations, and we've been very successful in that respect.
That's amazing. Yes. That's really great to hear. Aside from your entrepreneurial ventures, can you talk to us a little bit about what kind of nonprofit ventures you're also involved with?
Absolutely. As an entrepreneur, I always believe in giving back, because it's very important that we actually give back to some extent, to the communities where we actually draw our resources from. So I do believe in that. I am a member of 100 Black Men of Orange County. I also belong to a few other organizations. I'm the vice president of Head Start in El Monte in Los Angeles area, and also the vice president of Los Angeles African American Chamber of Commerce. So I'm involved in about 6 or 7 different nonprofits where I either sit on the board or volunteer, if you will. And that's my commitment to the community. And I believe equally the American Ethiopian Chamber of Commerce will actually be a very prominent player in Los Angeles in terms of literally fostering a good business environment for Ethio businesses in the area.
Oh, thank you for that. Well, it seems like you've been involved with various chambers over the last few years. Can you just tell us some of the benefits and positive things that you've gained by being a member of a chamber, and why other entrepreneurs should sign up to be a part of the Ethiopian American Chamber of Commerce?
Sure. So for instance, the most important part of the Chamber of Commerce is actually the fact that they give you some sort of an ability to network with other professionals and therefore perhaps develop contacts, not necessarily contract. It's up to you as an entrepreneur to translate that contact into a contract. A lot of people think that just simply because they joined the Chamber of Commerce, now they will have a lot of contacts because the Chamber has a lot of relationships. It doesn't work that way. So you really have to work very hard in building a relationship. That relationship allows you to have a contact. That contact then gets translated into a contract. So the Chamber allows you, and I remember back in 2003 when I joined the Chamber, the GLAC the Greater Los Angeles African American Chamber of Commerce, one of the biggest benefits for me was actually introduction to larger corporations, which we still do business with today.
Wow.
So yeah, the chamber can be can play a prominent role in organizing events like that and connecting the dots, if you will, for small businesses as well as larger organizations that want to be a part of the community.
That's wonderful, because we do have a fairly large Ethiopian community in Southern California, and sometimes it's just about bringing the community together and fostering these types of relationships and connections. So that's why we're promoting the Ethiopian American Chamber of Commerce as we are, just to show and spotlight how many entrepreneurs we have in our community that some of us may not have ever heard of your business, but just to show you that we're in so many different fields and industries. So thank you so much for talking with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ida. Absolutely.
Thank you. And we hope to see you all for our next episode of our entrepreneurial series. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Look forward to it. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.